This year is WWF's 50th year, and as part of the celebration, we've been supporting various events and valuing ecosystem services is a key area of interest for us. So supporting this conference was an obvious opportunity, and we are trying to pull together the different strands of our work to look at how do we better embed the interests of the environment in environmental development. It's an opportunity to challenge. Certainly the working group that I'm overseeing is going to be really challenging. How do we keep forests in the face of expanding human population, in the face of increasing change in diet towards more meat, which requires more land? How do we keep forests? How do we make them valuable? So that's the opportunity. And to discuss that with an international audience who bring different perspectives, including their own countries, countries where WWF works, and really getting a sense of what they think is a good way forwards. I would say that there's been a lot of talk, a lot of theory, a lot of suggestions how economic tools might be used, and valuing ecosystems in particular ways might change the land use. However, I don't see much of that on the ground. So from my perspective, I hope we bring a practical lens to look at these questions with and say, yeah, we understand the theoretical framing and the aspiration. We've got a few examples of where we think it works, and we'd like to share them. And are there broader lessons that can be taken? Yeah, I mean, you're right. All those reports, including the latest greenhouse gas emission figures and our own Living Planet report, which WWF produces every 2 years, we are consuming 1.5 planets every year, if you take into account all that. And basically, we are mopping up the capital, natural capital, and not living off the interests, which is what we need to do. So we need positive attitudes. There's nothing more miserable than doom and gloom. We need the facts. We need the facts as a base from which to take action. We need to find examples of where things work which inspire change. And that is the essence of what WWF wishes to do. So am I optimistic? Yes, I'm optimistic. There's stuff we can do. I've seen great stuff. Recently back from Acre State in Brazil, and the governor will be coming to the conference. They have committed to an economy based on keeping the forest. And certification of timber production, certification of rubber production, trying to have value added through processing locally. But still, it's not enough. So how do we get in the extra commitment from the business world? How do we get government support for what they're doing at a time when the Brazilian Forest Code is being revised right now? We've been working on the Yangtze River for a decade with HSBC funding, so corporate partnership, and it's the biggest conservation success I've seen. 40 new protected areas along the Yangtze to basically give options for future potential impact of climate change. It's no good. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with climate change. So we have protection along the middle and lower Yangtze between Three Gorges Dam and Shanghai. That leaves open options for future action according to what climate change impacts bring. That is great forward thinking and a real commitment. And when I visited, my naivety about an ancient culture with deep interest in nature, because when I grew up we couldn't go to China, was salutary. And those are the kind of international meetings bring that sense and your realization, lots of people are concerned about this. So I think if I just focus on the forestry working group that we're there, it would be to have some places, Acre State would be a nice example, where the government policy sets a level playing field that allows companies to invest in sustainable use of natural resources for the benefit of local people and the national economy. Job creation without wrecking the planet. That's my dream. And the more of those we get and the more inspiring they are, the more it will spread. Against that, of course, there are people who want to make a much quicker profit and not have to have certification for sustainable. So I want to have us in a place where governments say, no, we want to do it this way. There are a lot of companies committed to it. Give them an opportunity to act by creating an environment that fosters sustainable approach to natural resource use.